Not
I
yet.
hunger for border! Heretic border!
Well, I didn't
This
say
is
we were
why
completely
you don't
yet, but
ever this is why you don't ever invite the disparate children into the lobby. They always will say the most random stuff.
well, I think we're now finally live, so they can hear you now.
Oh, they couldn't before?
No, you went too soon before we registered.
I no longer hunger for border, I guess.
Heretic boy.
I hunger for burger. Heretic burger.
Listen, unless you're a giant mutated crow-like Primarch, then you don't hunger for border, you hunger for lorger. Heretic lorger!
I'm sorry, I do not hunger for a psychopathic priest.
I hunger for his blood. I'm
I
blood
mean-
angel now.
I think Corvus Corax literally wants to eat him, so I guess it applies. In any case, I guess we're live now after the tiny lore drop.
That could be taken so far out of context. You know that.
Oh, it can, but I said literally, so nobody can take it out of context. The
Well,
context is all there.
humans are weird anyways.
Yes, which is why we're playing the Space Marine campaign. Oh wait,
Wait, wrong one.
that one was scrapped. Never mind.
Scrapped. Nah.
Oh, wait. I thought you were talking about the one where we were in the space hulk and that one guy betrayed us.
Oh no, that wasn't your dream.
Hey, John, I remember ripping off the heads of Tyranids and nearly going berserk halfway through. Multiple times. Because the party couldn't keep the Tyranids away from me and just kept shooting them while I was in point-blank range of them. While I was playing a Blood Angel.
Amakar have two things. One, you sent the 5th episode. Two,
Oh,
you sent it to.
it didn't update. Oh, great.
Yeah. Oh
I
well.
put it in.
um,
Zog.
It's okay. We never put one for the last one, so you know it works.
Now I'll
Right?
fix it.
Anyway, while you fix that, hello, I am Sir Reaper. I will be your host today, I guess. Or I guess your DM today. Your beautiful DM, might I add. And in case you couldn't tell, we're a little bit chaotic today. Not heretical, though. Somebody go next before I mess this up even more.
Well, I guess I'll go next. I am also known as Mek Plays. I will be playing the Ogren warrior known as Maximo. I'm going with the deeper voice now to make it more emphasis, for he got smarter.
So you got brain surgery.
Brain surgery after a bullet to the head.
So, without
How about you, illustrious rogue trader?
Hello, everyone. I'm Organ 1952, and also known as Austin Shark Chasm, our daring road trader for this game. Pleasure to see all y'all again.
The next off is one of the maskers, I think known as David.
Patterson, fire a warning shot. Sir, this is the M32 rotary grenade shot. Potato, potato, just fire it, Patterson.
It's funny because you got a grenade launcher.
Yeah. It also probably would have helped if you worked that out to have that be like a duo thing, but
I mean, it's David. I don't think he's capable of communicating with other people in a positive way.
He's passive aggressive.
I see.
Where was the
No.
passive part? What was the passive part of the aggression?
Simple. He fired the M32 rotary grenade launcher. There's your passive part.
damn, with that kind of damage, you might be able to beat me.
Maybe. But we're
mean,
going
keep in
on to the
mind-
other masker known as Lucas.
I would like to point out something before we do Lucas, and I'm sorry, but I would
Oh.
like to point out that when you roll to hit with a grenade or grenade launcher, you are not trying to hit the target the target defense because you are not targeting a target, you're targeting a place, and the DN is 3, which means that was almost a misfire.
Hilarious.
That is my case towards the honorable court. I'll see myself out. Lucas.
Hello, I am Art of War. I will be playing Lucas, the also favorite sniper who has yet to actually make a complication on his shots.
Well, that was certainly one shot fired.
It's not complicated. And I think that's everyone, unless you want to introduce the eye.
Well, the eye is just basically the eye. It just watches everything.
It's
Like
a
the
demon of
Inquisitor,
Zins.
he's there.
Hello, camera.
It's a demon of Zins. We like him. He's chill. He's cool.
He just sits there and just watches us creepily. It's fine.
He cool. He cool.
It's just sitting there, staring menacingly.
So long as we have a session to run, we can be friends. Afterwards, it will get difficult. Alright. First of all, I'm gonna send the card over to Austin since he doesn't have one.
Yes, please.
And that's gonna be his card for the session. Anybody who wants to exchange your card outside of David, who already did that earlier. And I send it to Art again. Excellent. Art, put one of the cards down the table, please, so I can delete it. For some reason, when I click Austin's name on the characters, it corrects to Art, and I hate it. All right.
Oh,
Art,
boy.
can you place the card I gave you back on the board? The one I gave you by accident?
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Alright. Austin, you have your card. Oh, that's a new one.
Man, the we got a lot of a theme going on around here.
Uh-huh. Art, would you like to exchange your card?
No.
Ogren, would you like to exchange your card?
The name is Maximo, and I wish to keep my card. I want to make a complication later, of course.
I'm sorry, but out of context, that is like the most hilarious line. My name is Maximo, and I wish to keep my card. I wish to make a complication later. Wow, that Maximo sure sounds like a troublemaker. Anyway, all of you roll me d6. It's time
With
for your
increased
daily-
intelligence, increases my ability to cause wrong.
Exactly.
I already rolled mine hours ago.
Ah, excellent.
I got a 4.
Ah, excellent. Maximo, where is your
Hey.
daily objective?
My daily objective is here on the board.
All right,
I rolled a
excellent.
3.
So, all of you have your daily objectives.
Remind me again, what do we get if we do complete?
A singular point of wrath.
Yay.
A singular, all-around, universal reroll. Not bad.
That display
Could
the
be
strength and found in
better.
ignorance. That's gonna be a tough card.
I mean, in-game or out of game?
Both, because Maximo's smarter now. So he can't really be ignorant no more.
Every play showcase the strength found in ignorance. Literally ignores the cover rules and shoots somebody through a wall.
That's
Strength
abilities.
found in ignorance.
What cover? It's just extra armor I have to get through.
Alright, so,
Because there is a shoot through cover rule.
did this by any means increase your passive awareness?
Let me see.
I would like to know the current passive awareness of everybody because we did get some XP.
I have a passive awareness of 2 now.
1.
1, okay.
I currently have passive awareness of 2.
And I assume David is also at 1.
I'm just making sure. Yes.
Excellent, then we're good to start. So, agents of the Inquisition by now, I guess. I can officially call you that now. Let's see about that glory point. What happened last session?
After a bit of rest, we then proceed to get into the truck, in which we then drove to the swamp to hunt down the stalker. Unfortunately, we ran out of gas and kind of left and just had to leave it behind for someone else to grab later as we proceeded on foot.
I would like to point out it was David driving, and I believe it was Inquisitor Locke's truck. His
Yes.
personal
Yes.
vehicle.
Yes.
His poor truck got stuck in the middle of the swamp with no gas. So we had to travel the rest of the way to go find out our quarry, the stalker. Upon the location of finding him, we stumbled
if I may
onto...
take one moment for technical difficulties.
Aw.
Art, you are there's a bit of a breeze coming through your mic.
I fixed it.
Probably breathing. If you could hold your breath for the next 3 hours, that'd be amazing. All right, continue, Maximo.
Oh, that's disappointing. I thought he was a masker. He would be able to breathe quiet. Anyways, upon approaching the scene, of course, we found a grim sight. Corpses strewn about and wired traps. Unfortunately, we managed to discover a few traps and disable them promptly. Basically, makeshift shotgun shells ready to blast anyone who trips them. Luckily enough, some of the astute comrades of mine able to find these traps and ignore them, and subsequently disable them. We encountered a corpse that had a Vox unit attached inside its skull, and decided to speak to us promptly, taunting us about our fealties of attempting to hunt down the stalker. With brash activity, one of our companions has decided to shoot it, destroying it.
As one should. The
Yes.
foul heretic was speaking. He required repentance.
With no lead in direction, we wandered further, hoping to find the culprit. Unfortunately, a shot rang out, and one of our companions, I believe Austin, has taken a shot, resulting in him almost dying. It was traumatic, to the least.
For him.
But miraculously,
Everyone
by the
else was
faith
on
of the
the
Emperor,
page.
he survived. As we continue on trying to trace the shots, another shot flang out and went to hit another one. But luckily enough, defensible enough, managed to deflect off the helmet.
I played my card just to say no.
Yes. As we
Why
traveled
did they-
further, the next shot was me. And that was the last thing I saw for the moment, until after the final result. Anyone want to pick up after Maximo lost his thought about that?
Well, when we finally found out where the stalker was, we blew him out of his hiding hole. He then held up his weapon trying to do something to the dark entities that we do not wish to exist. David blew his hand off with the weapon that had the weapon in it. And then he tried to take his own life with a combat knife, which luckily our resident sniper and fellow stormtrooper decided to say no to that and vaporize the knife,
Suicide is for the weak.
says the Kriegsman.
We don't need to start this debate again.
Not in the middle of the narration, please.
No, but upon losing his only way out, he gave up, unfortunately. So we tied him up and began to search his hideout. While he was tied up, I believe it was Lucas with David, right? Or was it someone else?
It was Lucas and David.
Yeah. The heretic stalker decided to start talking some mad smack about the Emperor, so David just repeatedly smacked him for about 3 hours. Every
More
time
like
he
a
either
minute.
moved or decided to open his mouth.
It was a interesting moment of interrogation.
It wasn't even interrogation, it was just fun. One must always mistreat the heretic, the Xeno, and the traitor. He just happened to fill 2 of those requirements.
After I woke up and recovered a bit of energy and strength, we promptly tried to contact the ship, finding that we were unfortunately stranded and our vehicle's out of gas. We have explored his location of hiding and managed to find a damaged Vox unit, a computer, and a book. The book was promptly taken and almost certain to be destroyed, but kept for evidence sake. The cogitator and the Vox unit have been damaged and promptly repaired by Maximo. Through some type of favor of the Omnisire or the Emperor's gift, managed to allow him to succeed on this endeavor, allowing us to contact the ship itself to actually get transportation back to the ship with the quarry. As we get back on the ship itself, we turned in the heretic, the book, and other evidence as we rest for a bit. After we promptly healed up, we managed to go to the interrogation room to see him being tough. But not for long, as we found out one of our new handlers, Harrow, came in to delve deeper in his mind with psychic might, causing him to scream viscerally. It was uncomfortable for Maximo, while everyone else either shivered or stoic. After that, we got ourselves some extra training a bit, upgraded ourselves with new equipment to proceed on to the next mission with Harrow dealing with another problem somewhere else.
And after a couple of weeks of training aboard the vessel, you have now been all summoned once again to this. Well, not once again. This would be your first time here, I think. You have now been for the first time summoned to the ship Strategium, and this time around, hold on. It should only take me a moment.
Not to worry. I'll take this opportunity to rescue myself personally.
Anyway, Squad Psi 3315 has been summoned to the Strategium to meet with Sir Wolf in regard to their upcoming assignment. As you are all present, you see the typical Imperial vessel Strategium, basically a vast array of cogitators in a command room that could easily be the ground floor of a mansion, as far as size goes. There's armed guards, of course, those of the Inquisitorial Tempestus. And Sir Hulf, who appears to be overseeing operations on a tactical battle map. Well, a holographic tactical battle map of the system. As you approach, you see one of the green dots go red as he appears to tighten his grip around the device that the hologram is being projected from.
David salutes when he approaches.
He hears the stomp of your salute and turns around. You all notice that he is not wearing his power fist this time, unlike when you first met him during his announcement. And you all notice the distinct look of an augmetic arm, a very high quality one, might I add. As he turns around and greets you, doesn't exactly greet you, he turns around and looks at you. He puts his hands behind his back and says, "At ease, soldier. At ease, soldiers." Forgot his voice for a moment there. Apologies.
David goes into parade rest.
It appears this time for your deployment. Harrow has found where he has to be going next after analyzing, well, all that brain data. I'd not call you the stratagem, though, for a simple mission deployment, as you might understand. But to also commend you on your last achievement once again, and acknowledge you as agents of the Inquisition. This puts you barely above what you were before. Still very expendable. But you're now a part of the whole.
It is a
Not
privilege.
outsiders trying to survive. Acknowledged. The privilege of being an agent means you no longer require permission to use lethal force in the field.
Maximo
Aside,
will
of course,
look
for
questionably.
priority targets.
Will raise an eyebrow to its other comrades, those who are more brash of shooting people in the face.
Well, those times you had permission from your interrogator.
Still,
Yeah.
this still doesn't mean that with their brash actions, they most likely will do it anyways.
Now, granted, this does not grant you the power to do so against priority targets, but that's a whole different can of worms. Now, you are to meet Interrogator Harrow at one of the ships that are about to make landing to Periander Beta. You're going down to the hive city of Axia, one of the oxydome hives of the planet.
All right.
The rest will be made clear by your interrogator.
All right. Let's see here. What's the new planets typed in?
Well, it's one of the main hive planets of Periander, and it's Periander Beta.
That's the planet.
Yep, and the hive city is Axia. And in addition to all of that, he also says your acquired warrior has been equipped inside the Arvus vessel. I wish you luck.
Thank you.
Much obliged, sir.
Lucas nods in acknowledgement.
He nods at all of you as well and waves you off.
David salutes one more time before turning to leave to march towards the Valkyrie Bay.
Yep, Maximo will leave as well. He will actually go quickly. You say all his equipment is on the ship.
Your new warrior has been left on the vessel you're going to be departing with.
May I change my ammo drum for the heavy bolter instead of my ripper gun?
You can, yes.
Thank you.
Do
Perfect.
make note if you're going to be leaving any warrior behind.
Maximo will still hold his ripper gun.
Okay, I mean, it is a good backup.
Well,
And
he has
another
his backup as a bayonet, but sure.
Yep. So, assume you all head to the bay.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So, as you do, you arrive to see an Arvus vessel awaiting with Interrogator Harrow sitting on some like Munitorum crates outside of it. He is just sitting there, hand on his staff, gazing at the infinite void of space.
David walks up to him and salutes.
We are here, Interrogator Harrow. Yeah.
He stands up and like rolls his shoulders a little. Ah, yes. The retinue. I see you are equipped for the task, or at least you feel that way. Perhaps it would be wise to proceed then.
Maximo will salute and go on the Arbor Slider.
Mm-hmm. So now, before you do that, everyone aside from Art and Austin, who got just upgrades to their existing war gear, if I am correct, yes, I am. So David and Maximo, would you kindly receive and describe what you got from those Munitorum crates?
Maximo himself will go to his assigned location, and his crate's slightly larger than his other companions. As he tries to delicately open it up, because these latches are not built for ogre hands, luckily enough, I'm sensitive enough to manage it. Opening it up, it reveals a nice pristine heavy bolter, with a few drums of ammunition nearby. Even has a gun shield plate on it to help deal with the flash. A nice Ogren's pattern, able to be carried by two hands. I actually appraisively pick it up, examine it, and load in a new scratch barrel drum, and make sure the bolts click in nicely. And I just nod, this will do well. Much better than reckless. As he straps himself in.
All right, David.
I might have to do.
You all watch as David goes over to his crate, which is not as big as Maximo's, but it's still rather large. Like, it looks to be more reinforced than anything for what's inside of it. As you watch as he taps on the lock system on the crate, as you watch as he pulls out a Tempestus Scion pattern grenade launcher. As you watch on the slots it checks the chambers before slotting in 3 crack grenades into half of the magazine, and then loads it before he just straps it to the backpack on him.
Yep. So you now have a rotary grenade launcher. The only thing stronger than love.
Is an M32 rotary grenade launcher?
Maximo will turn his head and nod.
So basically, I would like to point out that 2 characters upgraded their existing weapons to be more reliable in combat. Well, less reliable, but rolling more dice in combat. And the
Quote
other to
unquote.
decide to go with explosive distraction.
But the thing is, the explosive destruction is also anti-tank explosive destruction.
More or less.
Because technically, bolters are rated to destroy tanks.
What makes me a good stormtrooper? Well, if I was a bad stormtrooper, I wouldn't be here discussing it with you now, would I?
You're not
Also,
wrong.
Is Austin with us?
I'm here.
We've lost you on roll 20.
Oh, what the fuck?
There you are. You all board the vessel alongside Harrow. Maximo lifting one of the handles from the chairs to sit down on 2 of them, so you can be comfy. Now I'm gonna ask you this. There are still enough seats around Maximo's side of things so that none of you have to sit on Harrow's side. But would anybody like to sit near Harrow?
Now, I have to
I
question
will.
this. Does Maximo need to roll his fear check?
Not really.
Okay, it's spacious enough.
It is. This is an Arvus. Not like the dingy little vessel that the Enforce put you in.
Alright then.
David will sit next to Harrow.
As will I.
Austin?
Nah, he's sitting by the big man. He'll sit by Maximo.
Alright.
Oh, honestly, this has got to be the most nervously terrifying thing for Austin, just seeing the 2 stormtroopers and the psyker just staring at him.
Yeah, that's kind of
As the vessel pressurizes and takes off into the unknown of space, heading for Periand orbit at a very high speed, I would like David and Lucas to deafen for a second if you can. We will notify you when you can undeafen. Alright, perfect. Austin, if I may ask, what is possibly like...
You thinking right now?
Let's put it this way. When you look into Harrow's eyes as he's intensely looking at you, what's the worst memory he brings out of you when you look at him? For Austin.
Worst memory, huh?
Yeah, like when you look at him, what's a very bad memory that he reminds you of?
Probably probably back when he was just a youngin. Back when he was like, not even a rogue trader yet, not even like thinking about it yet, just like down on his luck, not very wealthy, sort of just absolute, just nothing. Getting the shit kicked stomped out of him, just complete and utter annihilation on the pavement. Just remember being told that he is nothing, he ain't gonna be nothing, and he's never gonna make amounts to himself ever.
Yeah, for some reason, this memory seems to circle back and forth within your head throughout the entirety of the travel. And it makes you rather uneasy, let's say. As for the entirety of the travel, Harrow does not stop making direct eye contact with you. It's as if he's even noticing he's doing it. Alright. Let's notify the other two.
You're probably gonna have.
I did message them.
I'm here.
Alright. There we are.
We still have
Yes,
Arthur Fall.
Don't
He's
worry.
probably grabbing some water or something.
I pinged him. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's probably just getting some water or something. How are you?
There.
So, after that, for most of you, it's a swift trip down the planet side. This being your second time doing such a trip. At least since you came here. For Austin, it's a slow and arduous process. Until you finally hear the boom and feel the vibration of the vessel landing as it begins to depressurize.
Maximo will arm his heavy bolter and getting it prepared.
Yeah, Austin will be pretty quick to get himself ready to get off.
My sniper is at the ready.
As you all undo your safety harnesses, Harrow steps out first and he says, "Now, there should be certain accommodations waiting for us here. A trusted ally of mine." And let me change the music real quick. It should start playing shortly. As you take a look at the hive city around you now, you notice why they call these hive cities of the planet oxydomes. Because it appears there is a large transparent opaque dome around the city, which seems to have large machines on it that ventilate the gases into breathable air. The actual atmosphere of Periander Beta is actually non-existent. It is not a planet with oxygen.
It is
It's
quite common
actually-
for hive worlds.
Yes. And thusly, they need those devices that basically filter in breathable air so people can survive. And the dome serves to keep the air in. You would know that any breach of these domes would basically possibly lead to billions of deaths before even one breach can be sealed. So that would also explain the large amounts of essentially guard posts and flying vehicles that patrol around the dome. As for the people that you see below you from the landing pad, they all seem to be walking around in teeming masses, packed like a can of sardines, as they move to and from their works and lives in the city. This being a hive city, you see buildings and spires as far as the horizon can stretch. Because, a quick reminder to those who don't know, but oftentimes hive cities will be the size of countries. Uh, well, the size of European countries, I should say, considering the scale. That being said, you would also know that from your briefings that Periander Beta only contains 5 hive cities, not only due to how difficult it is to build hive cities on this planet, but also due to the fact that it's actually a rather small one. So they don't need that many to begin with. And the reason why the Imperium has decided to set base on such an inhospitable world is mainly the reason that they set base in any other inhospitable environment: an endless need for resources. So, with that being said, Harrow begins walking towards a lift platform.
Maximo looked like a sore giant red thumb in the middle of the crowd.
David
Oh,
is
there is no crowd here. You're basically on a landing pad, like kilometers above ground.
He would look like a giant red sore thumb in the middle of the crowd once it gets to that point, but he's just imposingly large.
Yes, the only crowd that is actually here right now is
The receiving party?
well, there is no receiving part. There's basically aircraft security, and as they approach the pilot, you hear him talk about something about uh, administration. You know, the common word for we're part of some higher ranking sect of the Imperium, and you don't need to know more.
Yeah.
Do we all hear this chat, or is it just him?
All of you do. It is basically a case of them asking him what is the vessel doing, like who are the passengers, and he's just explaining that they're basically with the administration and showing seals and everything, so people let them through. They don't seem to cause him any trouble, so you know that still checks out. Uh, so, with that in mind, you all follow Harrow, who makes his way to the lift platform. Upon reaching which one of the security detail on the pad uh, opens a door for him as you all enter in. Once inside, he presses a button, which begins to slowly descend down towards the ground level of the city. As you descend, you do notice that this appears to be a building dedicated general to the purpose of storing away both aircraft and land vehicles. Kind of like a parking zone, but not really. More like we keep all Imperial vehicles here for when they need to be deployed. And it's very tall. And as you descend closer and closer to the ground, the sounds of the city become more and more apparent. From the chatter of the masses to the constant sound of footsteps, which sounds like legions upon legions of armies marching forward. When you get lower, you even begin to hear the occasional announcement over the voices. Things such as thought of the day, the Emperor protects. You are not without him. Though to a more radical mind, that would seem like a false statement for these people. But that wouldn't be you, right? Anyway.
Yeah.
I aim
Um,
a gun at the voice in the sky that's trying to suggest that we might be heretical.
but pointing a gun at the voice in the sky may be heretical. Anyway, um,
I think
as
Maximo's
you
smarter than that.
Austin's not a fucking psychopath, so he doesn't see the need to point a gun at the sky.
so
Yeah.
as you all descend to ground level, you're greeted. Well, you're not greeted. You hear Harrow say, "Come this way. My associate is nearby. I can sense them."
Maximo will
Please tell me he
just
just
nod
starts
and
sniffing
follow.
the air.
That'd be
No,
hilarious.
he doesn't start sniffing there, he just starts walking again. You do notice that whenever he's talking to like any of you, he usually makes intense eye contact with somebody. Not anybody in particular, just every time he speaks, as if he needs to be looking at somebody when he talks.
I mean, that's just how David normally looks at people, so he doesn't find anything odd
To
about this.
directly talk to people, you need direct staring or direct eye contact.
Oh, he's not directly talking to any of you though. That's the
I
thing.
know.
He's just addressing the group.
He
He's
stares
just
at all of
weird.
us at once for some reason because he's a psyker.
Yeah, it's like a holy iconography. No matter what angle you look at it from, it appears to be looking back at you.
That's why I said he looks at all of us as simultaneously.
This is
You could say they're harrowed eyes.
burn.
That was a harrowing joke.
Uh,
I will play my card now if I must.
Boo.
Anyway,
don't want to go off track further.
heckling aside, you all follow Harrow, and as you do, you pass through the crowd and across the state, and are greeted first of all with the sight of a Torox vehicle. Now, for those of you who don't know what a Torox is, imagine like an armed military transport vehicle with a pintle that bears two autocannons on its side. So whoever is using the pintle does not even need to go out of it to shoot them.
Just a better visualization for those who do not know. Just imagine a very, very souped up pickup truck with a cabin in the back instead of the flatbed.
I think what's better imagined
With
is
tank tracks instead of wheels.
the armored trucks used by people that take money from banks. Basically, imagine one of them on steroids, and then had a
And
child.
instead of wheels has threads.
Caterpillar
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the ones with caterpillar tracks is Torox primes.
Yeah. Thing is,
No.
vehicles are only used by Tempestus Scion units.
Actually, that's a
Well,
bit
they're
incorrect.
mainly used. They're not.
The Torx Prime is commonly found among stormtroopers, indeed, but the common Torox is basically what the Death Course of Krieghofen refers to as a battle wagon or Kriegwagen. They're basically basic military transport. The
Yeah.
Torx Prime is the one that a Scion will be more accustomed to, but this is simple Torx. Oftentimes, when in the field of battle, the lifespan of a Torx is estimated with minutes, and the foregone conclusion that it is destroyed for the sake of victory is something that comes up as often as the question of whether the guardsmen inside it are ready to die. The answer is yes. A simple Torx is a very common vehicle to the Imperial war machine, settling itself somewhere between between a transport and a tank, but not exactly sure on which line it stands on. Anyway, that aside, uh, standing by the track, by the Torox, appears to be another figure, one that I will make available to your journals now. Hold on. There you go. And as you see the figure, Harrow says, "That would be Araline, my sage's trusted acolyte."
Isn't that the Krieg combat shotgun?
Not necessarily. It's more of a regular combat shotgun, is what she has.
Oh.
I just, for purposes of convenience, we use that one there.
Easy enough.
Ah. It's just I've never seen that pattern ever used with anything other than Kriegsman, so I just thought that was the Krieg pattern.
No. She wears some administratum robes. Has a Vox unit on her back and a shotgun strapped to the side of the Vox unit. And as you all approach, Harrow is the first one to speak and says, "Greetings, Harleen. I see you were on time, and earlier than that so. These are our new associates, and your new field, well, field guard. Technically mine too, except I won't be in the field. Now as for you," he turns the four of you, "Sage Arlene is a trusted acolyte of mine, and she is very resourceful when it comes to obtaining information and inquiring answers for the higher-ups of our administration. That is to say, if that brain of yours ever stops working, yours won't function long after."
I'll keep her alive. My life depends on it.
She appears to be. She appears to nod along with what he says without trying to say much for herself yet. Mostly because you know, consider that she's the trusted sage of Harrow. She probably has seen it.
David looks at her, turns to her, and then just salutes.
She does an awkward salute back, not really knowing how to respond.
He
Maximo
stands
will
there holding the salute.
Maximo just excuse me, ma'am. I am Maximo. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Maximo. I'm Sage Aralyn, and as Interrogator Harrow told you, I shall be conducting investigations on the field while you attend to matters of enforcement.
Maximo will hold a finger up for a handshake.
So we'll shake your finger.
There you go. Maximo will, with a nod and a smile. We'll be happy to have you in our team.
You're right. Austin will sort of like poke out from behind Maximo. Austin now, sarcasm. Sure, ma'am. We'll be sure to keep a close eye on you. Make sure nothing bad happens to you.
That is good to know, Mr. Sarcasm.
Does it not? And won't really mention that it's now sarcasm.
Don't be weird, Al.
God damn it!
She hasn't given the basically the response to you are at ease. He's waiting for that.
I see him sweating underneath his armor right there.
You basically see Harrow from the corner of your eyes, looking at you, David.
Continue.
And he like,
David is still holding that pose.
and you hear a voice in your head go. And you hear a voice in your head go, "Stop that."
Dave's in my head.
I was just now thinking about an impertinent question. Stop what?
Salutes aggressively. Yeah.
Enough with this standing around and grating. We have a great investigation ahead of us.
Yes.
Do any of you know how to drive?
That would be me.
Maximo refuses to raise the hand because of reasons.
Maximo does not want to sit in the driver's seat.
Well, he could drive. The downside is, will he fit? Maybe, but not much.
Okay, so if we're going inside the Torox, I need somebody to be the pilot and somebody to be the crew position. The rest of you can be.
I'm crew.
I'll drive.
Austin, we are not letting you drive worth a damn.
You
I'm
motherfuckers
driving.
always picking on me. What did I do?
Lucas put
with
20
that area
XP into pilot. What did you do?
Fine.
I'll tell you what you did.
I'm not the one that ran out of gas on the last trip.
I didn't drive last time.
That was because of, Locke was neglecting his vehicle.
You were neglecting Locke's vehicle too. I don't see the issue here. Anyway. So, what crew has is certain actions, mainly the ability to fire the autocannons.
Oh, lovely.
Maximo has to relinquish to being a passenger.
I mean, if anything happens, it's good to have the big muscle protect alongside the VAPs, right?
Because I'm looking at the Torox, and it has four weapons, but only three turrets. you've got the auto cannons, the battle cannon, and the twin-linked Gatling cannons.
Should Maximo
I
get a
think you're
giant
looking at
baby
the wrong
holster
one.
just to put the Acolyte
No, I'm
Elaine
looking
inside?
at all of them. I know that we've got the twin auto cannon, but we've got the twin-linked auto cannons, right?
There is a sheet on your journal that says Torox. It's available to everyone.
There is no info on it.
Yeah.
I will fix that right now.
Yeah, it's not in
Boom.
not in our control. It shows to
There you
us, it's
go.
just not in our control.
Now all of you have access to it, and all of you can see everything about it.
Yay. Okay.
That is to say, if you ever wish to salvo with vehicles weapons, you have to expend one of your own reloads.
Well, vehicles technically can have their own reloads.
Well, yes, but this one has zeros of now, so wouldn't
Wow.
like so.
Yeah.
Well, it does have 2 autocannons. You don't really need to salvo to kill most things with those.
Well,
True.
does it have... So, it has 1 pilot, 1 crew, and 10 passengers. Since
Yep.
Maximo's counts as large, he takes 2 spots as passenger.
Yes. And then it's 3 more spots for the rest of the passengers. So total of 5. Alright, so we have our pilot, we have our gunner, and we have everybody inside the passengers. And basically, Harrow tells you, Lucas, from the back of the Torox, you're looking for a nearby derelict Amasek refinery. That is where we shall be stopping.
Understood.
And I would like Lucas to make me a pilot check.
Yay! With my total of 8.
Uh-oh. Complication.
Alright.
Ran out of gas on this
Alright.
one, too. And just... Wait, what? How? We just started the thing.
You did do very, very good though, so I will allow you to shift 2, and I will give you your complication at the end.
Alright.
As the joke continues, it just runs out of gas again.
No,
No,
you'll see
no,
what,
no.
you'll
It's
see
just
what
a
we'll
random
do.
civvy
I
just
know.
stuck to the front of the Torox.
But I think that would be a funny common joke for us. It just every time we drive a vehicle, it always runs out of gas.
So, those 2 shifts, in this case, can only be used to expedite the process.
Yep.
So you will be arriving as quickly as can be, and then some. So once you get to the Amasek refinery, it's, as said, a derelict old building. Also, my A's are picking up with somebody. It's Ty.
Yep.
So, as you reach the derelict Amasek facility, it is completely abandoned, very dark in the place that it is now because other buildings have built both over and around it. And Harrow points to a large metal container and says, "You shall park there. We shall use the container as cover for the vehicle."
I proceed to park.
You park it, and as you do park it,
Oh no.
you hear a loud thump from underneath, followed by a slight pop. As it appears, your tire was cut on a bit of protruding metal. So you have one flat. Right, this thing has threads. Sorry, something got caught in the threads. So until somebody makes a tech test to remove the metal debris from the threads, there's gonna be a higher DN to driving this thing.
Well, I guess it's time to contact the engine seer Maximo.
Yeah, Maximo, you hear the sound of something getting caught in the threads as you're inside the transport as it stops.
I'm just gonna say this. When David hears that noise, he kind of just pops his head out of the top of the turret and just like looks over. I imagine he kind of just like looks like a gopher popping out of a hole to anyone else.
David, since we are inside the metal container, my guy, you pop the hatch, try to go up, and just push on the container.
Does the door even open?
It opens down, I'll say.
Oh, opens downward. Oh my.
Yeah. You don't suffer anything. It's just the idea of you trying to pop out of the pintle inside the container.
Hilarious. He tested his helmet, rightly so, on the box.
And the helmet
My
works.
face is my shield.
His face was the shield.
My cranium is my shield.
I heard he was hard-headed, but this is ridiculous.
Gets a concussion.
No. It's just a dent in the top of the cargo container, perfectly molded to David's helmet.
If you were gonna say there was a dent at the helmet, I was gonna ask if it matched the dent from the stalker's bullet.
No, that's still there.
Yeah, that's a mark of honor. I survived a 50 cal to the head. So is Maximo going to actually get out and check the threads?
I guess, why not?
All right,
Maximo
make me
will
a
get
tech test
out.
if you want to try to fix them.
Yep, he'll look at it and just... I see. With a 1?
I'd say 1 won't be enough for you to remove the metal debris from the thread successfully.
Not unless I use my tremendous bulk.
What does tremendous bulk do?
No, just basically just using my...
Holy shit!
I would use my...
Somebody breathed way too hard.
Technically, just explaining, I use my strength to pull the debris out by force.
I will warn you that if you get a complication, you could possibly damage the threads.
Well, we have better versions of fixing it. Some people have better tech tests than I do.
Well, I mean, you can roll it. It's just a 1/6 chance. What are the odds?
Indeed. Do you want me to use just athletics or just base strength?
You know what? Use athletics since we're using a skill roll.
Alright. Roll a 2.
That still would not be enough to like get the stuff that was wedged inside out of it.
Yeah, it just basically
you have
Maximo just
you
looks
have
at
to
it and
reach
just
under-
and goes
you can
inside.
use a wrath.
He can, but that'll be a waste. And he'll look at it and just try to pull it out and just... What did you run over? Razor wire? You can't really
And
pull it out.
basically,
You looks
What?
like a servitor of some sort.
until this is successfully removed, any test that would require the vehicle to do anything other than standard movement will suffer +2 DN penalty.
You know what? Could I give it a try? Pulling it
You
out?
could,
Sure.
but
The poor
since you don't
servitor.
have like insane ogre strength, I will want you to try and take it.
Yeah, I would just say that
I
probably
have more athletics than I have tech.
It's
Joke-
better than nothing.
jokingly,
I
if the
have
servitor
one
bound
tech.
it and
I
just
don't think I'll be
kill
able to do this
me.
without glory.
Alright, let's go. See what happens.
Am I okay to athletics it?
No, you're not, because again, I allowed Maximo on the grounds of him being a massive ogre.
Alright.
But
One.
before you roll, I'm
Wow.
not counting that one.
Oh, okay.
You could try to cooperate with each other and do an assisted roll. Not with Maximo though. Maximo has had his tries.
Oh, okay. Who else has tech?
I only have a passive of 2, and that's just because of intellect.
What about you, Austin?
1.
Right.
better than nothing.
I'm going to help the Kriegsman.
Okay, what's your tech there? 1 dice?
Yes, I have 1 tech and
Hey, Lucas, if you decide to try and fix the thread, you get +1 bonus dice.
I would make it a 3.
Lol.
Better than nothing.
Hey, listen, if all of them roll an icon,
Yeah.
Drew.
Maximo could have done better with this tech test if you used the Wrath point.
All right. Being
why don't you use
assisted
the
by-
wrath point on the athletics then?
I didn't use athletics, Wrath point on athletics.
I said, why didn't you?
Because I'm saving the Wrath points for something more important, like a battle.
Ah, okay.
Good enough.
We can still drive normally with the Torox, it's just unable to do any advanced maneuvers easily.
You can no longer do Kasei the Rifto.
You don't want me to initial D the Torox?
Well, that's up to you. Fix it. Fix it, fix it, fix it.
I can just imagine, like, hold on, before you click it, I can now imagine, like, there's, like, some heretic riding away on some sort of, like, speeder bike with all of the info from the HQ, and it's like, well, it's a good thing those guys have a Torx, they're never gonna catch me. And then he just sees a Torx literally jump over him, over a ramp with, like, sparks going out of the threads. And you just hear a very faint, Spitfire! Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my.
Just a genie stealer seeing Lucas follow him around the corner and going, Impossible! Inertia Dorifto! Anyway, sorry, roll your tech test.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
We,
Lol. This poor servitor is jammed inside the treads.
Since I do have
It's
2,
literally just a little bit of metal from the container.
Oh.
Also, I forgot
Fucking
to.
soda can.
Oh,
I
a soda
forgot to
can
add the
stopping
glory
it.
for the narration.
Indeed.
how the fuck does this?
Lol. The Emperor doesn't. The Omnisci is not on our side. We'll have to try again later. Maybe
But also,
Harrow can
I
use his
wanted-
incredible mind.
You could also ask one of your NPCs to help.
Yeah. Looks to our
Does
acolyte.
does anyone have any idea how to get this thing out?
And they're just like I just imagine this. The treads area is too small for us to even fit in. So therefore Maximo collectively look at the acolyte. She's a smaller person. Maybe she'll fit inside there to get it out.
Yeah, Aralyn walks over, looks at the piece of metal stuck inside the threads, reaches into one of the pouches on her belt, and she takes out a small, like, pair of pliers from one of her many kits. And she's gonna try her tech test now. Almost.
Almost.
Would
What
one
did
of
you
you like
run
to
over?
spend their
I will spend 1 wrath.
to allow her to roll?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm
Alright.
spending 1 of my wrath. Oh,
Eh,
This is
She
one
managed-
fucking dug in piece of metal. Holy shit.
she managed to pull it out after a lot of effort, and with what seems to be divine intervention, she just slams back and falls, thankfully, on the cushion of of Maximus' boot.
David goes to help her up.
Yep. And the complication for moving it this way shall be the dogs can now do maneuvers as per usual, but its total speed goes from 28 to 27.
Oh dear.
It's a
It's
very
a-
minor decrease, but can only be fixed if you like completely were to get new threads.
We're gonna need a tech. We're gonna need a mechanic eventually to come here and get this fixed.
David looks at the acolyte and just goes, "Are you okay?"
Yes, yes, I am fine. Thank you very much, but I'm fine.
He stares at her for like an extra second before turning to leave.
Maximo says, "Thank you, Mom."
Harrow, just as you turn to leave, you just are met with a near Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare of Harrow just standing there with the most like disgusted look you could see on an old man's face that wears a respirator.
Wait, at me?
At all of you.
I mean, Austin was just there watching this, just like, God dang.
And that's another reason for him to be disgusted.
Hey, at least the rest of us tried. It's not our fault they're all apes.
Maximo will apologize to Harrow for his lack of skill to deal with the Toroks. He's not familiar with such things.
And by technicality, I trained to drive it, not necessarily to do the repairs.
Lucas be the kind of guy that gets a flat tire and then he's like, well, I know how to drive it, not what to do when the tire fucking pops.
I look like a mechanic to you.
I was trained on how to break these vehicles, not drive or fix them.
Caro just hears all of that interaction happen and just goes, then it appears my entire new lacks training. That's good news.
Uh-oh.
As he begins to head out of the container.
David follows him.
I follow suit.
What a display to put in front of your interrogator, am I right?
Yeah.
Austin just thinks to himself, man, I really miss my shift.
Or like, now you guys know how Locke felt being around you guys. I can imagine they all just look at each other like, man, I miss Locke. He was a failure too.
No, David's like, this guy is so much better than Locke. Everyone else is like, we wish we were with Locke.
And David is like, he's me! He's just like me!
Dad!
David is like,
He's just like me, for real, for real.
Like,
So, as you follow him outside, all of you, he goes over to another part of he goes deeper into the refinery, pulls away a tarp, and then he takes out very carefully his rosette and places it over one of the tiles, and you see one of the rivets blink green. And then the tile sort of goes like an inch deeper and inserts itself into the floor, revealing a staircase. Maximo, you're gonna have to hunch a little to enter, but
Not
you
really
have
as
a
much.
grace.
He's a viable grace, so he's able to delicately walk down the stairs.
Mhm. And as you all walk in, Harrow is the last one to enter as he waves his rosette over the tile again. A rivet blinks red and closes again.
David, upon like being the second to last enter, just looks at Harrow and just goes, "This is a very familiar situation. You aren't going to trap us in a box and then try to gas us to death like last time."
If I wanted you dead, you would never have got out of that ship.
David then just walks down the stairs.
I love how David has a tendency of trying to question if his superiors are out to kill him. Not directly, I will answer. If you die as a result of the mission, we'll find a new David.
Oh, don't worry, I've already got like 5 different versions of David all planned out.
Oh god, he has siblings now.
Oh no, they're not siblings, they're just very similar.
I mean, he's Kriegsman. Like, if they're the same height, we wouldn't be able to tell.
Again, you once again mistook one guardsman for another.
Like, I can't fucking tell. Like,
I know, they're
so-
all guardsmen, am I right?
like they're constantly bitching at each other. That's like impossible to tell at this point.
Anyway, so as you descend into the safe house, essentially, you see a large, well, not large, you see a modest underground facility, minimalistic. Lots of cogitators, lots of like areas to conduct research. There is even a table that contains certain psychic focuses, like the Emperor's Tarot and other things such as that. There is essentially a small supplies room, like a storage room. It doesn't have like supplies like ammunition. It has supplies like food. There is a cooking area inside one of the rooms next to storage. A habitation area which basically has bunk beds. And there's also a shooting range. And let me see if I missed anything. Yeah,
I don't know,
supplies, cogitators, implements to invoke psychic powers, shooting range, and cooking facility. Yep, that's it.
I'm just gonna say this. There you go, Ty. That's for you in general.
That still doesn't help him. And as soon as you all enter, Harrow goes and sits by his table and starts arraying his implements to perform his whatever ritual he needs to perform. And Araline turns the four of you and says, "Please follow me. Sorry, please follow me."
David follows her.
Maximo will do.
She gestures around a little. As you can see, there is the cooking station. Those are the habitation bunkers. That's the supply room. And beyond that door is the shooting range. This bunker has been reinforced in order to not make sound. It was previously part of the underground facility for safekeeping the Amasek, which means everything beyond these walls is old Amasek storage rooms. So it should be fairly difficult for anybody to find it. That being said, you are still advised to be very careful when exiting and entering the area. The safe house took weeks of preparation to be achieved. Now, on to what has been discovered. She goes to one of the larger cogitators and starts like navigating through some files. And you start seeing information appear on the screen mentioning the interrogation of the being known as the Stalker from Interrogator Harrow, as experienced by Harrow. She then gestures to the cogitator and says, as you can probably read here, the book that you found was actually a key to the Stalker's turn towards the darker powers. It appears to have been given to him from an individual he refers to as the Martyr. And when he says that, you see a sketch appear on screen of an armored individual with like what appears to be like armor made out of welding gear with a large sledgehammer.
Well then.
This is the description that Mr. Harrow gave about the Martyr. He is the one who introduced our Stalker, or for more simple terms, your previous target, to the cult that we assume has been taking over the system. Through the memories, we figured that the Martyr was holding some sort of secret meetings within the underground areas of the Hive, the place known as the Underhive. We do not know where or who attended those, but we managed to figure out where the book came from. And the book appears to be from the book appears to be from a printing facility within the Hive city of Axia, near our perimeter. Our current mission is to interrogate key suspects that have been known to move around and habitate within the Underhive and work for the printing facility. Should we find that any of them know anything in regards to the book or the cult, we're to bring them in for interrogation. We were to do so posing as merely a larger part of the Imperium's administratum and not under any other cover in order to maintain consistency. Should any of our research uncover anything about the cult or the martyr in specific, our key target should be to then follow up on any lead that could lead us to the individual so we could take him down, as he's supposed to be the leader of the cult. In short, we will interrogate some workers and supervisors, find out who knows what, and then, using the information, we want to be led to the martyr so that we may put an end to this cult before it can spread any further. Any questions?
Do you know where he resides?
Who resides?
The martyr.
We have no information on the martyr other than his description.
Do you know how deep the cult is?
We know through the memories of the Stalker that the cult appeared to have had a large following. species spread among the Underhive, mostly to those that appeared oppressed by the Imperium.
We'll have to investigate the more downtrodden areas then. Go even lower than where we are now.
That's what I explained. We will begin with targets that are within the area. If that proves fruitless, we shall move to the Underhive.
Knowing about heretics, most likely they are underground.
That's when you hear Harrow from across the room pipe in. While your estimation is astute, Maximilian, it is wrong to assume the nature of the heretic. For the heretic is a treacherous being, known to stand both in the most expected of places, but also among your very own people. And when he says among your very own people, he just looks over the four of you.
David is just looking right back, silently.
Ah. I guess that means no better time than now to get started then, eh?
Let's get him.
Indeed. You all may make your preparations and move out when needed. Arlen stands up and gives him a small bow. Noted, sir. I'll get to preparing right away.
Alright.
Austin nods, claps his hands together, and just looks at the rest of the boys. Just, wondering what all preparations they need to do.
David,
Yes.
you get a command. That basically it is basically Harrow speaking within your head. And for the sake of absolute secrecy on this one, I would like David to follow me to the other VC. The rest of you can role play as you see fit. Entertain them.
I see.
I do not know what the rest of you shall be doing, but I shall be cleaning my gear and preparing it for an eventual attack from gangers in the Underhive. Because knowing us, we're probably gonna piss some of them off.
That does sound a bit right. Maximo will just make sure he makes his mustaches up to snuff and idly checks his heavy boulder, making sure it's all tweaked out to the specifications. So, what will we find down there?
More than likely, we'll be finding a lot of people who are losing their faith, who are starting to lose their faith in the Emperor.
I see.
Terrible. It'll be a veritable garden of Eden for these heretics and traitors.
Never heard of that statement.
Some ancient. I remember an inquisitor I had to work under. I remember an inquisitor who took command of my troop at one point mention it. No idea what it means either, other than he just said it means some type of paradise, I believe he said. No idea.
The only paradise I usually find are the one inside the casinos.
Ah, yes. Lose your money to gain what? A quarter of what you once had?
Mama always said, gambling is a loser's game.
A house always wins, as they say.
I never fought a house before.
The house would be the casino.
Ah. I thought it was a euphemism for one of the monsters or beasts.
No. In this case, the house would just be the casino itself. They always find a way to take all your money.
It's a good thing I'm frugal then. It is awfully quiet in here.
Well, considering we currently have the other one of our guardsmen currently in conversation with Harrow about something important, I wouldn't want to get in the middle of that.
Yeah.
What about you, Austin? What do you take of our current situation?
Well, I reckon we're going to have to be playing careful around here. We're in the enemy territory, potentially, and we don't really know who's all going to be innocent and who's all just going to pretend to be innocent. Dealing with you breathing into the mic again. We're going to be dealing with the down third of the underhive and possibly higher ups. So overall, we're going to have to keep our wits about this. You know what I mean?
Agreed. But whoever this martyr is, I have a feeling they're gonna be highly dangerous and careful about what they're doing, especially since they'll possibly find out that the stalker is no longer in communication with them.
Might already have information on us.
True.
But you're breathing into your mic. Thank you. Is everybody here?
Yes.
All right. We're gonna make a 5-minute break here.
Oh my.
Just around the 2 hours mark. Drink your legs, stretch your waters, and we can be right back.
All right. Hello, everybody. How are you all today? We see someone here was once, but we have everybody here and all that. So yeah, good. Nothing new today. A nice, good day weather inside Axiom. Because, well, the weather's fine. Axia's weather's fine. It's clear. And, well, I can always tell a joke about paper. But I know it will be terrible, so.
I thought you were going to say you're going to scrap it. Ugh.
Indeed. I blame the heretics for this. But all in all, the day's been going fine. It's well, I guess I'll take this opportunity to use the restroom again. I'll be right back.
I am returned.
Ah,
Hello there.
Is everybody here?
yeah, I believe so.
I don't know.
I am here.
Both
I-
guardsmen.
I am here along with my thing of water and Imperial Guard issued Oreos. I am ready.
Fucking hell, where the fuck did you get those? For sure
I
as
is
shit,
returned.
his hand is shorter.
No, you have to understand. They're not Oreos. They're Oreotus. The Oreotus rations.
Don't hurt yourself.
Don't hurt yourself, please.
Made out of drywall and fucking coal.
You got anything better in that
The
In that pack, in
Yeah,
that
drywall
rat's
and
nest you call a ration pack.
Gonna be honest, my cape is probably more edible than most of the rations that we get.
In a severe emergency, Maximo could eat his mustache wax.
You're just gonna say mustache,
I mean,
and that was like a horrified image of you just like eating it like a goat off your face. Just,
Well, some would say both mustaches and beards are just extra food storage devices.
I'm just gonna say this though. I assume that your mustache wax is actually just modified corpse starch. So technically, you could eat your own mustache.
Technically.
What the fuck does corpse starch have to do with fucking wax? How do you get wax from starch?
Maybe
You
the
would be
fats.
surprised. Yeah,
Yeah,
wax is just
yeah. If you
literally fat.
harden the fats enough, they could be called wax. They can actually be used as wax.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Make
It's just corpse starch mixed with the promethium, you know? It's just, you know, makes it work.
If we ever party wipe, this conversation is why.
Well, that's because of you.
No, it would be the one time I overcharge my plasma pistol and just explodes everybody.
It only affects the main user, doesn't blast. Luckily enough. Haha, hee hee hoo hoo.
I'm gonna be.
If he gets inconvenient
gonna say
target
this.
too.
I'm gonna be honest. As soon as
though.
Matsimo over here pretty much said, "Oh yeah, it's pretty much just corpse starch mixed with promethium." All I'm just thinking is just like, don't put a lighter next to his mustache, or else that thing's gonna be brighter than the star on a Christmas tree.
Well, not all
Have you
promethium
ever
is
put a
flammable.
lighter
It's just...
near mustache wax?
I have not.
It's an amazing candle. I can put a lighter near many things in my life.
Best way to learn. Put a lighter next to this. Let's see what happens.
I
Also,
might have accidentally.
Alright, your mic again. You need to adjust it.
You might need to turn on your sensitivity thing on it because we're hearing your breaths.
Yeah, we keep hearing your breath this session. I don't know why, man. Anyway, sorry about that again. I
Welcome
guess we're
back.
good to continue. We're good to continue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright then. So, with all that in mind, our agents prepare for field duty. So, first of all, let me update your priority investigation.
Did that work?
Oh, we ain't hearing it, so it's working so far.
So far, for now.
All right, because I did went into settings and literally just put on the standard suppression because it was on none. That's why.
There we go. Much better.
All right. There's your priority investigation updated. So you all get ready, board the torques again, drive it out of the container carefully. Lucas, give me a pilot check for the scene. All right. Your first stop as Arlene says as you're going there. Our first stop is one of the key overseers, uh, as well as most of these stops we're going to be doing today are going to be overseers. We're trying to find if anybody knows about any suspicious activity among the warriors. That is also to say, we will be looking out for any suspicious activity within the overseers.
All
These
right.
are not armed zones, and definitely not combat zones, but it would be wise for somebody to keep an eye over the vehicle while we're away.
I'll take that position.
Good. Then Mr. Victor says Maximo and
Yes, Mom.
Mr. Al Sarcasm, you're all coming with me.
Yes, Mom.
Tips his hand. Nods,
David
and
gives
nods.
a quick salute before following Schultz close behind her.
We're in the vehicle right now. You're in the Pinto.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maximo will make sure his heavy bolter's safety
Okay, I thought
trigger
we'd
is on.
stopped. Never mind, sorry.
Yeah.
You do make a note that during this whole process, you see now, Arlene actually turns to Austin and Maximo, who are close to her, and says, "Could one of you hand me over your comm speed? I need to tune up my frequency."
Sure thing. He sort of like uninstalls it from his sort of augmented ear that he got. And just, there you go.
As he's used the frequency on yours to tune into the squad communications with yours, and then hands it back to you.
Takes it and plugs it back in. Good.
All right, we should be able to have squad communications in case anything happens. You may have noticed we did not do this in the while we were in the safe house, but with Interrogator Harrow, this is more of a field precaution than a squad precaution. He tends to keep an eye on his agents at all times.
Seems about right.
Yes. Which to say, if any of you do anything that displease him, you may very well count that he already knows it.
No,
As you approach, Lucas, you see the building coming up that you were told. It's one of the hub zones. Basically, to describe a hub block, if you've ever seen the Judge Dredd movies, they had this like giant apartment complexes that were like the size of like a small town and like extremely tall. That's basically what a hub block is. Not only
I used
that,
to read the original comic.
yeah, then you have an idea. And on a more recent, I guess, reference, it's pretty much like the giant atrium buildings from Cyberpunk, but a lot bigger and a lot lower quality of life. Many people will ask, how can it be a lot lower than the quality of life those apartments have in Cyberpunk?
oh,
This the Imperium, and everybody's borderline a slave.
they literally don't have a standardized economy. It's
Yeah,
just
so
you give what we tell you to give.
also there is a high likelihood that your day-to-day meal is just the guy who died last night in the gutters.
As it should be.
Not really. Corpse is a terrible thing, but we condone it. In character, not out of
Hey,
character.
at
Don't eat
least it's
people.
not. I'm just gonna say this. At least it's not the fat bergs that you can get in the hive cities. You don't want to know what they are. Corpse starch is the better alternative to them.
Corpse is a better alternative to a lot of things that the Imperium has.
None of which we're going to delve into right now.
Oh, we are. That's this whole session, baby.
Oh, boy.
So, Lucas, you park the vehicle outside and basically bunker down in it,
I shall
waiting for
wait
everyone to
your turn.
return. David, Maximo, Austin, and Aralyn head out the back, and you head into the building. You know that basically all of your targets inhabit this hub block, because here's how it works. Usually, a singular hub block can house like hundreds of thousands of people, and with the Imperium, where you live is basically where it is most efficient for you to live. So if they all work in the same factory, you can pretty much count that they all live in the same hub block. Except, of course,
You
for
got
the
to
more.
love.
Hmm?
I'm just gonna say this. You gotta love Imperium efficiency. It may not always be there, but when it's there, it's there.
Of course, that's an exception for the like super low class workers who usually have to make their own living in the underhive, since they can't afford to live in the hive.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? Being homeless in the upper hive is a crime. The
Yep.
Imperium!
Bang.
Anyway, so as you walk inside, you pass by two tall and very broad individuals that all of you would immediately recognize to wear the suits of the Adeptus Arbites. They appear to be standing next to
Yeah.
some bikes and
Brothers of
talking.
the Tempestus Scions.
What?
The little brothers of the Tempestus Scions.
Well, I mean, let's consider the following. Statistically speaking, an Arbite is closer to a space marine than he is to a guardsman, due to the fact that Arbites are all of them at the peak physical condition of the human body, exempting mutation.
I mean, technically, so are Tempestus Scions.
Well, yeah, but the only difference there being that we hired you guys to be into battle, so we want you to not be very tall and broad. These guys will want to hire for intimidating people. Still, Maximo makes them look like dwarves next to him, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Rock and stone.
I can just imagine them raising their sock moles. Rock and stone, brothers! Anyway, so you all enter the hub block, enter a lift platform, and there is basically a cogitator with different options to where you could go. Aralyn inputs the options she wants, and you begin to head upwards. Our first target is an individual by the name of, and it appears to
I
be going
imagine
through
she's
your
just
data slate. What?
Yeah, she's just scrolling through a data slate.
Mm-hmm. Is an individual by the name of Raban. Actual imperial name in Low Gothic, by the way. Uh, he
Alright.
is in the 31st level of the hub block, residing at hub 31H. Should be fairly easy to find. So you're all going up.
Yes.
Anything you want to discuss while the elevator is moving?
Nothing at the
No.
moment.
Can't think of much.
Stoicism.
Mhm. When the elevator stops, she steps out and begins heading to the hub blocks. And as she does so, eventually uh, she stops outside of one of them, and she takes out, she takes into her hand her auspex scanner, activates it. All right, our suspect is in position. Let's move. She knocks on the door. The door creaks open as you see a very average Imperial citizen wearing like average Imperial clothing open the door. Greetings. How may I be of service? As he sees the arrangement of the four of you, we would like to ask you
Greetings.
some questions in regards to your work environment. You are an overseer in one of the printing facilities within the sector, correct? You go by the name of Arban. That is me, yes. Please, come inside. He opens his door to this little hub block. There's not much here, honestly. There's like a cooking area, a very small bathroom, a bedroom that is set like right after the door. Like the moment you open the door, you just head into the bedroom, and not much else really. Like there's a very small table with like two chairs, and he just sits by the side of the bed. Um, if I may, is this uh in regards to anything I've done? No, not particularly. We merely mean to ask you some questions in regard to your work environment. Um, this is all purely a typical procedure of the administration. We have received certain worrying reports about your facility. Oh, and what would those questions be? Well, firstly, have you noticed any suspicious behavior among workers? Perhaps ones that seem to be making mistakes in their prints or altering their orders? Not particularly, no. I haven't noticed anything of the sort. Alright. Are you familiar with a small blue book, one that could fit one's pocket, that your facility has been printing in mass quality? You print many of books. What's particular about that one? Well, it appears that there is an extremely large amount of such books being handed out within this sector of the Hive City from your facility, and their content is not exactly approved by the administration, by the administratum or the ecclesiarchy. In other words, the document is illegal. During my time as overseer, I have not approved the printing of any legal documents or participated in such. Good. That's good.
Question.
Have you not? Hmm?
As you sort of interrogating him, would I have to, could I make a general insight on him to see if like anything sort of takes him out, or
You may go ahead.
yeah. Where the fuck is insight there? Here we are.
All right, I'll let you know if there's anything that appears off about him. Is
Hey,
there anything that you've been noticing that seems awfully suspicious or reoccurring within the facility, such as people missing, people perhaps not showing up on their posts sometimes, or people showing an alteration in their behavior as of the past few periods of time that you've been there? Um, Not particularly. We've had some minor accidents with some of the warders, mostly due to what the apothecaries presumed to be malnutrition or lack of proper air filtering. But the facility has no such issues as with its air filtration. We've made sure of that. It is not one of my issues, but it's good that you keep the facility in check, sir. Now, for my last question, have you noticed anything particularly weird about your behavior as of late? Well, no, not really. I have not noticed anything that seems weird. As for you, Austin, you get the idea that he's not being dishonest about the last one, but he is withholding information.
gotcha. Now, if I'm okay to interject, my lady.
You're right ahead, Agent Austin.
Now, sir, may I call you sir? Uh, I know us coming here may be rightfully intimidating, but I assure you, we're out for the best of all of us here, and just making sure that everyone's all right. That fair to say? I ain't calling you a liar here, but perhaps, maybe not anything weird, but maybe there's some sort of behavior you notice that's just maybe not out of the ordinary, but maybe something that doesn't quite fit right. Maybe perhaps saying that's just ain't sit quite well with you.
Well, I mean, there is something, but I doubt it's anything more than a personal issue. I have found myself, I have found mind wandering off and often becoming distracted and forgetting, sort of blacking out for a few minutes at a time.
Hmm. This something that happens any sort of regular time or just off and on throughout the day.
I mean, I'm I'm gonna be honest with you. Being an overseer in such facility is tedious work, and I don't know how to put this. The mind tends to wander when it has nothing else to do. So yeah, it does usually happen during the more, let's say, less productive hours of my work.
Hmm. Hmm. Quite fair enough. Uh, is there any particular time things tend to get less productive, or just random?
Well, usually when everything is going uh, according to schedule with the workers, as overseers don't need to do as much work.
Fair enough.
That's when my absent-minded usually occur. I I I would profusely apologize if a few moments of distraction have caused such a massive scandal to spread across the sector, but uh, I will make sure to try and maintain a better focus on my work.
It's
That
a
would be appreciated. But aside from that, you're free from me, unless any of my associates would like to ask any questions.
Austin just sort of like lowers his hat, looking off to the side, not having much else to say.
Um, I,
David,
sorry, what? Sorry, what, David?
David looks in from his where he's been standing at almost like a parade rest, and looks at the gentleman and just goes, "How long have you been having these blackouts? When did they first start?"
Well, they only take place over a minute or two, but it's been going on for a few weeks.
Have you been taking any medicines to deal with this condition? Or seek help from the Medicaid?
Um, I did not consider the condition until now.
Hmm.
Probably
Well,
best.
It's just prob-
well, in
What were you
that
gonna say,
case, I
Austin?
guess
Have you been smelling any weird fumes at work or off duty?
no.
Are you taking drugs? Okay.
That'd be hilarious. Are you taking drugs, drinking alcohol on the job? Are you okay at home with the wife?
You are at
I
least
mean,
one
we're
who has no
talking here.
wife.
So,
I know, it's the joke.
Um, Ireland basically notes something which her dad is late, and then she stands up and says, "Well, I guess it will be all. Thank you for your time. We should get moving." And Maximo, you being taller than everyone else,
Yes, I'll
you
duck underneath the
see
door.
you
Oh.
see that a slate has listed next to the suspect's name dereliction of duty.
Indeed. With Maximo's more astute knowledge, of course, of he may consider that
Oh,
he's under.
dereliction of duty means death.
I know,
Okay, good.
but Maximo will take an assumption that this man's been under influences.
David then sends a quick message to the to Acolyte Areline,
Araline.
just saying,
Let's
"Do
call
you
her
wish for
Ara.
me to take care of him?"
Ara.
No, don't call her Ara. I will kill you.
He says this
What?
quietly over the squad's comms. Do you wish for me to take care of him?
Ernest looks at you and like say looks left and right with your eyes, as in no. And as you all head out of the apartment of the hub apartment, and the door closes behind you, it's best to leave such affairs to the judicial system of the Imperium. Trust me, you do not want to take the jobs away from the enforcers.
That and, gotta keep as much attention off ourselves as possible, right?
Exactly. Nobody wants to leave a blood trail behind us. Well, at least I
Then
know a way
David
to.
remembers his past of executing many, many people for that.
Well, I guess we now know the answers we should skip to for the next few individuals.
Who is the next one?
She keeps heading on the same level of the hub as you see her approach another hub apartment. This one is one of the more, let's say, entrusted workers of the facility, as we've been told. Suspicion here arises from the fact that he used to be an ex-resident of the Underhive.
How quickly did he rise through the ranks?
Not very. As he knocks on the door opens. You see an old man, probably in his mid-50s. And as it opens,
That's young.
mid-50s as in, you know, Imperium standard, where the common human will die somewhere around there because of how bad the quality of life is.
Oh, then yeah.
Not everyone
Yeah.
getting bolts to the head that makes them mortal.
Yeah. And she looks at him and goes, "You must be able." That would be me, yes. Uh, is everything all right? Did something happen? We are representatives of the administration in charge of maintaining the well-being of workers within the sector of the Hive City. I've never heard of anything of the sort in my life. This is our Centurion check of the sector's workforce. We're alerted to the fact that there may be health issues within your facility. he appears a bit confused. Please come inside. Surprisingly, even more minimalistic than the last guy. This time, all of you will have to stand up as he also sits by the little like bunk bed he has. And he looks at all of you. So what are these issues about? Is the disease? Not exactly. We merely wish to ask you if you've had suffered any lapses of memory, perhaps distractions, headaches, anything of the sort. Uh, well, yes, yes, very much so. There are times where I would just be doing my job, um, applying the press, applying the press machinery on the covers of the books, and I would just feel as if my mind would start to wander and do other things, but everything seemed fine afterwards. Nobody seemed to have noticed or made note of it, so I assumed it was only a few moments. In my experience, the officers tend to notice such things really fast. Well, yes, we're aware, but it appears that there may be a mental disease spreading among your people, one that makes them lapse and become distant from their surroundings. I wasn't aware that could be a thing. There are many things that can exist in the Imperium. This is a lesser issue, of course, but one that my organization has been tasked with dealing with. Care to explain to us what those moments of of being distracted feel like? Where does your mind wander, Mr. Abel? Um, well, there is a theme, but I'd not paid much mind up until now. I thought it was just the routine getting to me after all those decades. But oftentimes I tend to think about retirement, l- surprisingly winning some sort of impossible lottery and being graced by the Emperor to pass the last of my years in one of his more beautiful worlds. Not to say there's anything wrong with the Dome City, of course, but the mind does tend to wander to nicer places, yes. Indeed it does. And would you say this is a common occurrence when you're distracted? Yes, fairly. Other times I think of pleasant fields and generally it's peaceful and usually very much the opposite of life in a hive city. I see, I see. Is there anything you notice around the time of that happening? Um, no, I couldn't say so. No difference in she looks at you, Maximo. Odors or audio. Perhaps you hear something bizarre before it happens. Perhaps you smell something particular.
Did you see any strange symbols or something that was not there but looked like it was?
No, not really. I can't say I did. It's just one moment I'm doing my job, and the next moment I'm back to doing my job, but there's that momentary space in between where I just get completely drawn away from it. And I mean, I will be honest, I did not think much of it until you brought it up as an issue. I didn't know uh, this was a spreading disease among us. Well, it perhaps is. Do make note of anything you notice before or after you have one of those moments again in the future. Make sure to notify local enforcement of anything of the sort. We will be sure to let them know of the situation. Um, I will. I will. Good. Unless my uh, co-workers here would like to ask you anything. I
Have
think
you ever spoken to a Ministorum priest about these issues?
no.
Perhaps
I
some judgment and
really.
thoughts does lead to dark places.
Then perhaps I should before it does so. Yes, perhaps you should.
Quick question out of game. Did we ask him how long it's been since this started?
Yeah, he said a few weeks.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
All right.
And another real quick thing. It wouldn't have happened to notice anyone else just randomly, say, blinking out from time or two, just sort of standing, looking at nothing as well.
No, not really. I thought it was the only one.
Drugs.
Aralim begins to head out.
Some follows.
David
Does
follows.
anybody else want to ask anything? Now, for some reason, I imagine Maximo as Colombo. Oh, one more thing.
That's hilarious. I don't think he has anything else to gain out of this, though.
Mm-hmm. As you leave him alone and wish him well, Aralim basically heads back into one of the lift platforms, and as you all head in, she begins heading higher up, and she says to all of you, "I have a working theory, but I'm not exactly certain."
Okay.
Would any of you like to ask her about this?
Yeah, Maximo, just what you mean, ma'am?
Well, I could be completely wrong, but there is something I have in mind. It's probably wrong though. It's at this point that I would like to say, if you would like to obtain further information about her theory, It has an ability called Deductive Genius, which is basically you can expend one glory to essentially get information out of here that you would normally get of me using that talent.
Do we want to do that? Do we even have any glory?
You have the one from the narration.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I feel like we're kind of wandering around the dark a little bit, so I feel like it could really help.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys have any theories of your own.
Not really, Chief.
All
The
right,
only
would you
theory
like-
Maximo thinks of is probably just psyker nonsense again.
would you like to continue to the next suspect, or would you like to hear your theory?
We'll take it.
Hear her theory.
Why
All
not?
right.
Well, we can
That'll
get
be
a
one
glory
glory.
somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Arlene, like holds her data slate closer and says, "Well, I don't know much about the powers of people like Master Harrow, but I do know that Master Harrow has the ability to alter somebody's perception of reality, their memories even. Perhaps we're dealing with something similar. Somebody using some sort of power or substance to alter their memories, make them all distracted into distant vistas of happiness and freedom, while their bodies do all the work for whoever this dark manipulator is."
My thoughts as well.
Well, if that's the case, we should be wise to interrogate the next suspect, another one of the overseers. He's the third of the four suspects within this hub block.
As we're going up in the elevator, can I check in on Lucas to see how the Torox is doing?
You can.
Yeah, poor kid. He's been out there for hours. Left in the rain.
More like half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. David just like pops, just like voxes over to Lucas and just goes, "Trooper Lucas, do you have any updates on your position?"
So far, nothing. So far, there's nothing in here. I mostly just seen regular civvies just moving about their business. Anyone that I should take note of, note of, message me immediately.
Affirmative. We have interviewed 2 out of 5 suspects so far. Moving to the
2 out of
third
4.
location. What?
2 out of 4.
Oh, 2 out of 4, sorry. We have interviewed 2 out of 4 suspects. Moving to the third one's location now.
Very well. I'll see you shortly then.
Affirmative.
And then, as communications close, Lucas raised the volume again, listening to Creighton's Clearwater Revival.
Oh.
No. He's listening to Mike Krieg Romance.
No, we are not. We are not acknowledging that as existing.
That would be My Chemical
Actually, hold
Creed.
on. I'll do you a better one. She's listening to Painted Black.
My Chemical Creed.
No,
Mike.
we are not having Krigsman listening to emo music.
Linkin
I'd
Park?
I'd rather imagine him sitting in a track listening to I see a red door and I want it painted black.
It's just.
No,
I
no,
see
no, no.
the girls go by, go into the summer clothes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
just Lucas inside the Torox with like raining windows, a low stick in his hand, and a bottle of Amasek.
I know another band that you could be listening to. Guns and Kriegsman.
Baby Crocs, do 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 do. Baby Crocs.
We're
No!
moving on.
No!
None of you are creative with your names, are you?
It's Baby Crocs.
No. Go to,
He-
you can go
you
to
know what?
hell.
He's listening to Ceramite Boot. It's the 40k version of Sabaton.
There you go. All right, moving on to your next target,
Let's not
please.
forget Bolt Gun.
Anyway, so, listening to Space Wolf. Anyway,
See, I know there's a Iron Warrior soundtrack. They're known for their heavy metal.
okay, moving on to the next target. So, you reach the next target at a higher level. You knock the door on his hub. He opens up. Another one of the overseers, and Ireland goes, Mr. Eisendock. Yeah, that would be me. Why? We're here as parts of we're here to perform a little investigation on the ongoings of the facility you've been working on. Oh, all right. He heads inside. You guys follow suit, same as every other time. And Darling begins to question.
Question:
So-
how barren is this guy's room?
About the same as the first, guys.
Oh, okay.
So, we have been having mass reports from plethora of individuals in your facility, both higher ups and low-ranking workers, mentioning a case of distracting lapses in memory, usually momentary ones. Oh yeah, those. So other people have been getting them too, huh? Have you had, I assume you have had previous experience with those? Yeah, there's like a momentary lapse of just thinking about random things, usually things of the past, better times, if you will. And then some minutes later, they're usually followed by a pretty bad headache. I see. Have you
Oh,
noticed anything following before or after those lapses? Well, aside from the headache a few minutes later, well, there is usually that droning noise that happens before the mind starts to wander, like when you're looking into the distance and you're not thinking of anything, you start hearing that little high-pitched noise in your ears. Like tinnitus? What? High-pitched ringing in your ears? Oh, if that's what it's called, then yeah, sure, that. Huh. Have you experienced anybody else? Have you experienced anybody else experiencing any such headaches? Well, no, but most people just tend to their job. I'd not assume they would complain if over a headache. The Imperium wouldn't. Well, they would gladly and very good of them to not stop the work machine over something like that. I don't stop because of something like that. Good, good. That is good of you. Tell me, those better times, do they involve accurate memories or inaccurate ones? Uh, Most of the time, they're, well, fairly accurate. There is the odd, more pleasant environments and, well, decent looking vistas rather than the emptiness of Perinder Beta. I see. In that case, is there anything you might know about a small blue book? Perhaps one that has been distributed across multiple parts of the sector. No, I find that weird to believe, considering you are the overseer you're one of the overseers on the part of the facility that arranges delivering those books to where they need to be delivered. You were one of the people whom who is in charge of the cargo ledgers, are you not? I am, but I have never seen a small blue book.
Can I insight that?
Can I assist?
You can both inside if you wish.
Alright.
Hey,
And I only know the one.
I could
That's
only
what
roll
it
a
is.
one.
You could roll a two.
I could roll an 8.
Yeah.
I for some reason I can't remember really expecting to insight.
why not?
Wait, hold on, Austin. Wasn't your Maximo?
He just
No,
thinks
you're
of
fine.
something else. He just thinks of something else.
Wasn't my what?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Wait, wasn't your insight like already a 6? Didn't you already roll your insight for this?
Not this guy, the last guy.
Yeah, it was for another guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here's the particular thing that happened there. And I don't know if anybody caught that above game, but she never said it was a small book. She just said it was a blue book. He said it was a small blue book. Austin.
Right.
Yeah.
That boss may say real quick. Now, see right there, that's fine. We never exactly mentioned it was a small blue book, didn't we?
You're correct. You're correct, Agent Al Sarcasm. We never did. Now say, Mister. How about you tell us something a bit more informative about all of this? Um. Well.
Hello?
Yes. Hi.
Oh, okay. Everyone just stopped talking, so I was worried I just like lost connection for a moment there.
No, we didn't stop talking.
It happens, David. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Uh.
Also, I just realized, could I use a certain power here, actually?
What
As we're
power?
identify weakness insight. It's just
Uh.
let me copy it down real quick. It's essentially as I'm having a conversation with them, I just get to use Fellowship Insight, and he has to make a deception check.
Mhm.
Do I need to
And,
roll my stealth ability to see how well I do with what I
What?
sent you?
No, you don't need to roll install for what you're doing. If I'm next an attack against targets whose weakness. No, you inflict plus double rank additional D.
Reaper?
I said no. I said no. You don't need to.
Is Reaper dying for anyone else?
You literally are. You're the only one that can't hear him disconnect and reconnect. David.
Oh.
So, as I was saying, um, okay. So as I was saying, um,
Okay, how's this?
Can you hear him?
okay. Yeah, can you hear me?
Nope.
Yeah, might
Then
have
I
to.
don't know what to tell you.
Oh, there we go.
There, we fixed it, right?
Yeah, my Wi-Fi's been going in and out for a while.
All right.
Oh,
As I was saying, you don't need to roll a
do I
stealth.
need to
Just
roll a stealth check?
no, you don't need to roll a stealth check.
Okay. Especially for not what I sent you?
Yes.
Okay.
So, back to the scene. Um, Aralene says, "Now, how about you get a little bit more honest with us? Perhaps tell us what really happened to those blue books." Well, as I well, at some point I did notice there was a shipment of blue books that was left uncovered on a crate heading into one of the transports. I immediately notified my superiors. I was told that there is no issue and that they were merely not cataloged on my ledger because my ledger wasn't updated. So I never pursued it further. And this happened once? Yeah, just that one time. Oh, we lost Maximo.
Oh, I'm still here.
No, I mean from Roll20. Oh, and there goes David from Roll20.
I didn't disappear. I was still here.
I don't know what it's doing, but it's definitely funny.
I think the dark powers are at it again.
Perhaps.
I think this psyker's
Uh,
more fourth wall breaking than we expected.
Perhaps.
Reaper, this is all your fault. You're the one who invoked it.
Perhaps. Anyway, so it says, then in that case, could you give me some information in
Hello?
regards? Hi.
Yeah, no,
Could
I
you
just
give me-
disconnected.
Could you give me some information in regards to the superior that gave you that order? Oh, well, yes, of course. The uh, the Arch Overseer was the one who gave the order. I can give you his name if you wish to. Go ahead. Um, it's Arch Overseer Nicodemus Vox. Vox as in, yeah, Vox as in Vox. Vox arrays. Yeah. That's the name. Um, does this Arch Overseer um is he any sort of importance? Does he live in a Hablock? Does he live in one of the spires? Oh, Mr. Vox, he basically owns the facility, operates it on behalf of the ecclesiarchy. We mostly print the books that relate to the imperial cult. I see. Is there anything weird that you could tell me about Mr. Vox? I've never met him personally, but most of the overseers working the facility haven't either. Usually, the way things go is very accomplished warriors will be promoted to overseers, and those will have their own senior overseers, and the senior overseers send the reports to the Arch Overseer. I see. Well, it is definitely a convoluted system, but nothing we cannot get behind. We'll make sure to ask Mr. Vox in regards to the books. Unless my associates have any more questions for you, this is all the time we're gonna take from you right now.
I don't think Maximo has anything further to say.
Austin's pretty satisfied.
Mhm.
David turns to leave the room.
All right, it is time to get moving.
Let's.
And as you all head out of the hub apartment, you head out, and that's when Ireland says, "I do not think interrogating another overseer can provide us any more than what these two did.
No.
Exceptional work at your lie cats in Al Sarcasm.
Hmm.
I'm sure
No, but
Mr.
there is-
Harrow will be most pleased."
Might
There
not
is
be
one.
able.
Or
Right.
less disappointed.
I'll take what I can get. I may not be able to read Battlefield as much as you do, soldiers, but I can read a man just fine.
There is one thing I'd like to point out. He's the only one experiencing a form of side effect. Other than the noticeable ones.
Seems that he is
We-
probably closer than the real one.
I think I might have an idea as to why. I'll have somebody do a little bit of a check on his genetic profile.
Possible psyker.
Latent, very, very weak strain.
I
It
don't
makes
Still
sense.
think.
there enough to have it, but yes, that was my line of thinking as well.
Uh, sure, Lucas.
I suppose we should be heading back to the Torox now.
It
Hey,
would
a
be
3.
wise.
I'm sure
Uh,
Luke's getting lonely.
Nothing
Or-
bizarre is happening on the ground level, as you can see, Lucas.
Hello?
Yes,
I'm
yes,
here.
we can hear you. Can you hear us, David?
Yeah,
Hey?
do you hear us, David?
Hello?
Hello.
Not
I'll
again.
take it as a no.
Oh. Damn it, not again. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, wow.
Hello.
I'm dying.
Okay, Ty's not talking for me. I can hear Maximo.
Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear me?
You
I
selective
hope.
hearing motherfucker.
Can you hear anybody other than Maximo?
I could hear Art and Reaper talking and laughing.
But you can't hear me.
All right,
Alright,
so
I
Ty
am
is
very
dead.
sorry for
It's
this.
David.
Hold
You're
the
a
moment.
terrible guardsman.
Hold the moment, everyone. Anybody hold the moment?
People in chat give me things I can call. Yeah.
Uh, Big Mac. I'm gonna resort to you for this one. Maximo. Big boy.
Yes.
What's our timer at right now?
Right now, local cogitator time says it's 10:17 my time. Ugh.
No, I mean the stream timer.
Oh.
About 3 hours.
Stream health. Doesn't really. Wait.
Actually, hold on. There is a way to find that out for myself. Really quick.
It doesn't really tell me much on my side.
Don't worry, it will tell me.
Well, let's see here. Yeah, it's 250. 258. Been currently running.
All right, almost 3 hours. I'll take it. All right. I guess we're gonna cut short due to technical. Well, not short. We're gonna cut at 3 hours due to technical difficulties, and we're gonna pick up next time. What?
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. And we're gonna pick up in 2 weeks with the gang returning to the Torx. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. I was fully prepared to execute the last man.
You were fully prepared to execute every man.
Exactly. Be prepared to execute them all.
Yeah, like I
All
need.
right. Before
all of a
we
sudden,
execute the stream
body
first,
fly out the window.
before we execute the stream first, let's do a quick outro so that we at least look professional. So first of all,
No.
I have been your magnificent, beautiful, totally not heretical or treacherous storyteller. And you can find me at basically most things at Sarah_Reaper. And that's me. And I am gonna have these guys go up and down in a hive seat investigating things.
Investigators.
Don't worry, I'll be using my crack grenades ASAP.
I hope not.
Preferably on the civilian populace when they're in large groups.
I've made some errors. Anyway, who's next?
I am Big Mek Plays, the one who plays the local Ogren, Maximo. You can find my YouTube channel as Big Mek Plays himself. And don't do much on it myself, but I'm trying to get some things created for it.
All right. Anybody next?
I've been David Victories, and I'm the person that is stereotypically burning down the orphanage for free XP. I have been given crack grenades. Have fun.
I've been given crack. Eh,
I can just hear the dread in Reaper in this silence.
I don't have any dread, trust me. The only dread we're gonna have use crack grenades on the populace is the judges.
Oh, don't worry, we can use them on them as well. Crack grenades for all.
Inquisition, we don't give a fuck.
Do you have more grenades than they have arbiters?
I don't know. Do they have more arbiters than I have grenades? Who knows?
You're
I
gonna
guess we will find out.
You're gonna find out alone with us getting the lady the fuck out of there.
This is Art of War playing Lucas, and similar to my associate David over here, I'm the one sniping out the hospital for all that free kill streak. So
And I'm Morgan 1952, the one questionably sane man of math here aside from Maximo.
Maximo
Indeed.
is not sane.
What do you mean?
No, you're just another target.
Maximo is not sane. He's a super intellect now. Maximo has an intellect of 3 now, which matches the baseline intellect of a space marine.
Yes, indeed. He is much smarter than the average Ogren.
he's smarter than a guardsman. Let's put it that way.
Indeed.
I, for some reason, now imagine Maximo with tall black spiky hair, looking at a demon and going, "You see, Neverborn, you're not dealing with your average Ogren warrior."
That'd be funny if Maximo ever became a psyker. That'd be funny as a joke, and just he became Super Saiyan.
Downside, you still only get the hairline of the Russian badger. I'm sorry.
It's just Vegeta with a mustache.
No, Maximo's hair will
She's
go
a-
golden plus
she-
his mustache.
He turns Super Saiyan and his mustache becomes the Robotnik mustache. Anyway, yeah, that has been all of us, and we hope you enjoyed this. Well, I wouldn't say short; they are pretty neat. This
Yeah.
neat, very role play and investigation heavy session. That was a big amount of just memes and shit posting.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all around in 2 weeks for the next episode.
And then don't
Of
forget to do
Hellfighters.
your taxes and thank your bus drivers.
And
And
we'll see you
remember,
next time.
Somehow I'm losing my voice.
And
And
also
we'll see you
remember, execute all the witnesses.
Yes, I have been playing Hitman 3. I will concur.
Oh, I suppose so.
And with that, we'll see you next time on Hellfighters.
Z.
Oh, I thought we were called psychopaths with grenade launchers.
No, that's your personal podcast, and we don't want to hear it.
All right. I guess it's time to say goodbye to everyone. Goodbye.
We did it already.